Welcome to DevOps Accents, a podcast on everything around DevOps, public cloud, and cloud-native topics, with your hosts, Pablo, Leo, and Kirill.
Hello and welcome. Thanks for coming to another episode of DevOps Accent. Since you are already here, make sure to like, and if this is not the first time you're listening and watching to us, make sure to be subscribed to our YouTube channel and to our Spotify to not miss another episode and the video that we regularly share on our channels. We are mkdev, where we provide DevOps data and artificial intelligence consulting and engineering services. And here at DevOps Accents, we discuss all things around industry and things that get caught in our attention. Today with Pablo and I, Álvaro Sáez from HechicerIA, which can be translated to English, if I'm not mistaken, like witchcraft. With what we saw so far, indeed looks like magic, let me tell you that. So Alvaro created his innovative AI-driven solution in generative modeling, computer vision, and natural language processing. And with his projects, he has achieved recognition for his work at major tech events worldwide, including MWC at Barcelona, Web Summit at Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas this year. And this dedication to making AI for businesses is something that we admire here at mkdev, and we invited Alvaro to see if there is a future for all of us where quality of life is not dependent on traditional work structures. Welcome, Alvaro. Welcome to DevOps Accent. How are you?
Thank you very much, Leo, Pablo. Thank you very much for this opportunity, because we're so delighted to talk about us and about the AI landscape that we're looking every day at our work. Yes.
Yeah. And starting with my traditional first question to all our guests, what is your accent, Alvaro?
My accent?
Yes. This is DevOps Accent podcast, so we have a collection of accents. What is yours?
I'm Spanish. I know if my accent it could be more Spanish or not, but I think my accent is. A lot of people say that I could be from America, but I know just because I watched a lot of movies or podcasts in English, American English, but I think I have my own Spanish accent.
I think that all the Spaniards, we have this little thing when you speak in English, this little thing in the background that the people who understand really English is, man, you're from Spain. Because it's not like the French people, because this is something like, for me, a disaster. Don't in the bad side, because it's super strong. When a French guy speaks English, man, you're French.
Yeah.
You cannot hide that.
You can identify it so easy, I think, when a Spanish people is talking. Is so clear as if it's talking to French people, or if it's talking, German or Japanese. Is so specific, the kind of accent, because everyone know how Spanish sound. So yeah.
So this is another sweet accent to our collection. Thank you. Let's start with your experience. I'm really wondering, we are living in a very interesting period where a lot of artificial intelligence technologies are emerged, and suddenly we have a lot of artificial intelligence experts. How did you become one? How did you become an expert in this area? Because 5 years ago, we had basically zero. We knew technologies like machine learning, data science, and they were very difficult to understand, very hard to embrace things, and not many people really understood what it is. And suddenly we have you. So how did you start? Did you go through all these steps with machine learning, or whatever, what you learned? How did you become AI engineer?
In fact, I was a little kid when I realized that I liked a lot this automation topic. When I was a young kid, I was making robots with paper boxes and electronic cars, and it was like the beginnings of how I want to be in some years, 10, 15 years from there. It was the first robotics, first introduction to AI. But at that time, I didn't know how it was the name. I didn't know about artificial intelligence because I'm at home. There's anyone that studied any engineer or any computer science or anything. So I was growing, and I was so clear about that. I wanted to study engineering. I studied mechanical engineering. That's so different facts from computer science or this kind of things, or IT. And when I get out from the career, from my first studies, I want to specialize myself in automation. And suddenly I encounter a course from a university here in Spain. Is UNIR, it's international university from La Rioja here, and they had a program about artificial intelligence, and it was the first time I heard about artificial intelligence. It was so shocking in the time of, okay, let's see what is this, because it seems.
And what? I'm sorry. When was that? Like, what year was that when you started?
It was 2018 or for beginning of 2019. Yeah, it was so like 7 years ago, more or less. And it was like a program that it was introducing you to artificial intelligence, but it was combined with business. It was artificial intelligence and business, not so much for technical development, but to know more about the concepts of artificial intelligence and the different applications that you have when you can use it properly. It was kind of. And after that, when I was into the program and I realized about the power of this new concept, and I realized that this is the kind of thing that I wanted to do when I was a kid, I said, okay, I need to focus on that. And I go to a master's degree in VU, International Valencian University. It was my master's degree in AI. And after that, different courses and machine learning, deep learning, this kind of things. And after that, you start with your first projects, because when you have a little of knowledge about the topic, you always want to introduce yourself into how to apply that. And just at the beginning, I had this idea of Current Anima. This is the software that we developed after that, and how to automate things in audiovisual sector. And when you have this knowledge, you start making different designs. You start looking to what you want and combining different pieces. Okay, this is machine learning for image generation. Okay, it could be here to make this process, and another one to using NLP or this kind of things. So when you have these concepts after several courses or a master's degree, or now that we have degrees and regular degrees in the university, you can start yourself in the field and start your own projects. And I think that when you are in your first projects and you are developing, you start with different steps, is when you are really learning about it. Because when you go to a course or you go to a master's degree, you get the initial steps. You got the beginning, but you left a lot, when you are programming or developing something in a project, is when you face the real challenges that you have when you are.
Because, sorry, one question, Alvaro, you are in the 20s or in the 30s? Because there are many people who is not watching you.
I'm in 20s. I'm 27. monthly and a half for 28. Yeah.
No, yes, this is one of the most impressive things, because you're still in the 20s, so it's not that you jump to the 30 something.
Yeah, basically you were a kid like 8 years ago when you decided to I go with automation, I go with machine learning and artificial intelligence. So this job that you chose, and it's not like you jumped on a hype train when all this happened. And this is something that a lot of us should remember and should acknowledge, because what I think, like a lot of successful startup, a lot of successful products is when someone does it with dedication, with passion, like when they want to create something and solve a certain problems with that, instead of, oh, there is like NFTs on the rise, I should create a product around it. What could that be? And they then start thinking, and they start create fake problems and create solution for non-existent problems. And I think like similar things is going on around artificial intelligence now. So for you as someone who was working on this area and who was developing a product before it became a hype, how do you feel about it? How do you find yourself in the market that is now oversaturated with fake solutions? Like, do you feel a competition with them, and how you like? And okay, like let's go with this first question, and then I have another.
At that time, I thought that I currently think that it's so hard when you are not in the hype. No, the hype has pros and has good things and bad things. Because the good thing. Let's start with bad things. Obviously, the bad things, you have more competition. There's a lot of people in there, so you need to be really good to compete and to have a good visibility to go to the markets. This is bad things. You need to make a big effort to be in the way. But the good things is that when a lot of people isn't that, and it's not just a couple of freaks doing that. Yeah, that's the point. It's really when you have big companies and a lot of people doing this, is when the market takes it seriously. Because if not, before you were just a couple of freaks, you're in your garage doing some things in software. Okay, they will arrive to something at some point. I know this is what my parents thought about us and parts of my partners as well. But when you see the news that OpenAI is launching this ChatGPT, for example, it was a boom with ChatGPT, right? When OpenAI is launching ChatGPT, and the kind of things that you are able to do right now, is when, and this is related to the AI. Okay, you were doing AI. This is an AI that's breaking a lot. Okay, I'm taking right now seriously. It has bad and good points, and you need to adapt yourself to different to bad things, obviously, because you need to be competitive. But obviously, you need to work for that moment to be with an advantage when you don't have any support. You need to take advantage at this point to be on the way when it comes.
One question, Alvaro, because many people understand. Okay, many people think that the generative models, for example, or even the artificial intelligence, started when you're telling now. When GPT 3.5 or even GPT 3, some people appeared. For many people, it was okay. There is something called generative. The NLP is here. LLMs are here. Wow, this is magical because there is a company who invented something, and this is not true. Because generative, is there in many years. But for me, there is a question: how it was 7 years ago or 5 years ago when you are talking about this generative. I am not talking about generative images. So you have like HechicerIA, what is doing. That you are able with with a prompt to able to create videos. How it was 7 years ago, how it was this environment.
It was tough. In fact, I remember if we have dev people listening to the podcast, they will remember at that time there was, for example, the first models for image generation. It was this StyleGAN. This was a very known architecture at that time, and I loved the kind of images that StyleGAN was able to do. It was from NVIDIA, these first models, and it was so tough because, okay, in our case, we wanted to create videos, and the video was so inexistent at that time, and you needed to look at what you have at that time, and okay, you have first image models, and you need to combine this kind of technology to make every frame, every image to move currently with the time and with the context of the text. It was a mess, really a mess. 7 years ago, we didn't. Obviously, the concept generative AI existed at that time, but the power, the investments, and obviously the marketing that we have today, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. So you need to work on the shadows with the resources that you had. Then most of them were not AI, were just algorithmic and programming in Python to create some things and combining with other technologies. In fact, Current Anima is combination with between different technologies, not just AI, to create the product that you had in your mind. It was so hard to do it. Yeah. Now it's so easier that time.
Yes, because, for example, when you go to an event, we went, okay, this week we are coming. Okay, I'm coming from Tech Barbecue, and everyone is AI. So everything is AI. So you're walking on the stands, every booth is about AI. So I am a company who is selling solar plane, but okay, it's with AI. So I have a tool who discovered the site of the roof, and then with Vision AI, I'm going to be able to determine the amount of energy that you can generate. So, it's giving a plus to everything that you were doing before. So now everything is AI, and for sure that. And when you talk, for example, about this Vision AI, everyone is using a library, because nobody's creating something from scratch. Okay, nobody knows. Yes, for sure, there are companies with few people is creating things from scratch. Everyone is using an API and contacting an API to do that. But for me, this is the thing. The one of the reasons, because it was so easy to introduce AI in everywhere. Because these days there is APIs and you can do that. But for me, the people who create this initial model, the people who create this Vision AI model, these libraries, is wow, so be crazy, no? This start from scratch. It's something like, man, you did it. So it's not for a Nobel Prize, but it's something fantastic.
Absolutely. Now is a must-have to get AI and your solution. You must have that, because if not, your rate of investment is getting low. But yeah, to be on from the scratch doing something interesting, you need a lot of money. You need a lot of data. When you're a startup, right now is so complicated to compete with big companies at that point. Yeah.
I want to give some context to our listeners and those who watch us on YouTube. So the thing that Alvaro works on is a generative AI that creates, I cannot say videos, it creates 3D scenes similar to what you can see on video games from like PlayStation 3 era, or maybe even PlayStation 4 in some examples, based on your natural language input. And it converts your text into a scene with professionally animated cameras that fly over the scene, demonstrate from various angles. Like, just imagine a cut scene from a video game. Basically, this is what Alvaro's tool creates just from your natural language input. And this is something very different to what we saw on GenAI landscape. Because I can like remember when Gen AI tools like Midjourney appeared, and it creates static images. Then there were some attempts to make these images move with different tools. Now we have Midjourney and Luma, if I'm not mistaken. People combine those tools and create animated scenes that looks like a video, but they still very static. Like you have one scene and artificial intelligence just imagines what can you see if you move your camera slightly forward or slightly backward or something like that. And people just move there in a very primitive and simple move, like dancing, waving, talking. And that's it. That's basically what we have. What you create, on the other hand, is a completely, like, entirely generated scene that a camera can go any direction and demonstrate from. And you don't even put this into. I mean, what you see on the scene, you do not put this into your prompt. When, for example, like you have a prompt when a man picks up a bottle and throws it somewhere. And it generates the landscape, the sea, the flying birds, the castle on the hill. Like, I have no idea how this works. And the fact that the scene is generated with, is it real polygons? Is it real 3D scene? And can you, like, without getting too much into detail, without exposing your technology, can you give us, our listeners, an overview how this even works on a very primitive, without getting too much into technology?
Obviously, there are real polygons. Being short in the explanation, what we do is combining the video game technology with the NLP, natural language processing AI technology. So you have a first part in what you put into your script, and the natural language processing algorithm is understanding the main characters, actions, environments, different elements with where you are interacting on different scenes, and creates like technical script for cinema fans or cinema people. It's like the order of every action in a movie, like in the different shots that you have with your camera, etc. So with this information, we go to Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is the state of the art in video game developing and in quality for video games. And inside Unreal, what we do is that we have two possibilities. We have like a library of different assets that could be characters, could be environments, etc. And what we do is, with the information got from the AI, we can create patterns of the different assets to create environments, to create the characters. And when all is ready set, is like the generation of the 3D animation. So when we have, for example, a main taking a battle and after that throwing it, we have an AI that's able to generate in real time the different key points of the pose of the character, for example. And the AI knows when where is the battle and where is the different parts of the body, and they are like doing it calculates at every time, every frame, to go to battle and to throw it to create any animation. This is one possibility. The other possibility is that if we don't have in our library resources enough to create the 3D models, we have an AI trained to create new ones. The quality of the new ones are not as good as the library that we have, but they're I think quality enough for an MVP right now. That's what we have. Obviously, we are working on another functionality. This is the third one. Is that the user could take their own assets and put into the software. And now we have different AIs that are getting the information enough to call by text to these new 3D models or 3D animations even, and get it into the scene. This is the third one in which we are working right now, and this is how Current Anima, our software, works. Yeah.
Cool.
Do you think your project infrastructure is well set and maintained? We know for sure there is always room for improvement. If you are uncertain where to begin, let's first do an audit of what you already have. We will review your setup from every angle: performance, cost, security, high availability, and automation, and provide you with a detailed roadmap of which direction your infrastructure should go, generate concrete tasks for you to implement, or even take on your infra entirely, if you let us, of course.
Very cool. And speaking about your team, when you try to leverage the powers of Unreal Engine, naturally you have to be someone who knows how the engine works and how the Unreal Engine scripts. I don't know, maybe you are using this, but in general, what qualities should people have to be able to create something like that? Who are the people in your team?
Yeah. In fact, it was at the beginning we were working on Unity because it's so easy to work in Unity at a programming level than in Unreal. But you have a very big difference between the quality in Unity and the quality in Unreal. Our product was focused on audiovisual production for marketing and cinema, and the quality of Unity was not enough for that. So we needed profiles with obviously experience in Unreal. You need to have a minimum like 1 year or getting a master's degree or something. All our experts have something like that.
I mean, where the most work is happening? Is it? I mean, do you work more with Unreal Engine, or you create something on top of that with trying to teach your AI model to correctly interpret whatever you are trying to make it do into the language that Unreal Engine understands? Where the most work is going on?
The most work, we go in the deep of Unreal. We have people so top going in the deep of Unreal, programming in C++ with blueprints as well, and also embedding our AIs to work in the deep of Unreal. This is so tough because Unreal for programming is very hard, obviously in comparison with Unity. And that's the reason we need this kind of so good profiles with good experience in Unreal, and also with an introduction to AI. That they had different projects, for example, combining AI for animation generation in Unreal, something like that, or 3D model generation in Unreal. This is the most profitable profiles for us, because they are going to work on that deep in our project. So yeah, this is the kind of profiles.
On top of that, when the scene is ready, you have to convert it into a video to be able to publish it, to export it into a quick manner. I can only imagine like the amount of automation you have to create in order to create a tool that will automate someone else's work. And I wonder, and I wonder the level of skepticism that you deal with when you present this tool to the investors, to other companies, to people, because like at least I encounter some skepticism online towards AI currently because of the hype, because of how general people use it, and the skepticism comes from people not really understand how you can use the tools like that. It's fun to use it. It's fun to generate a picture of, I don't know, Donald Trump with a gun or something like that. Yeah, it's cool, and even animated. But then there is a question. Okay, who can use this tool professionally? And and then there is no answer. And I remember I had a discussion with people online on this topic, and I've been talking about GenAI that generates very cool images that look like almost a professional took them. And then I realized that this tool can be used by some companies that create a lot of assets to present images of clothes, for example. Instead of hiring a lot of models, hiring studios, photographers, people who edit images, they can create and generate the image based on a clothes that you wear. And then there is your tool that automates the work for, I can imagine, for storyboarding, for people who create movies, animation, video games, and need to present something quickly. And I remember that, for example, Lord of the Rings, and I remember I watched a movie about how they created the movie, and there was one thing very fascinating. Peter Jackson had to create a very primitive animation of the whole movie to present it to people so that they could understand what's going on in the movie, to the actors, to the investors, to the producers. So they have like a 3-4 hour long animated movie to be able to translate his idea to other people. And this is something that you create. So how can you tell me how people react from the professional area? Like, do they still have skepticism, or they can understand how it works when you show it to them, like how you deal with that and how it works from the business perspective?
I think one of our main goals in terms of markets is to go to we had it from the beginning, to go to professional customers, to go to professional people that works in marketing or works in cinematography. So what we do currently is designing how it works, the functionalities, the interface, to be so similar to the way of work of these people, these producers, these designers, these photographers. So we have people that is designing the entire thing that come from these sectors. So they are making the entire distribution of the different functionalities. Is so important how to shoot it, the shots in how to present the scene, and how to record, and how to present different resources to the professionals is so important in order to compete with another solutions. For example, the flexibility that you have when you are using, for example, Luma AI or Gen 3 AI, you have flexibility to, for example, to edit the results manually. For example, you are creating scene, you create. Let's take it easy. One man in front of a woman in there's a guest, for example. If you want to change, I know, the landscape, her, how they are touching themselves, whatever, you need to do another prompt several times, or you need to go to another AI to edit the video. And at this point, we realize that with our way of doing things, we are able to edit the results manually in the interface. Just click and stop. You change whatever, and you click again and play, and you have it in the recording from the first time. This is so time saving, and in terms of focusing at the professional people that are doing professional artworks, is so cost saving, time saving, and prepare to be used to, for example, what you were saying, storyboards. It's so important, in fact, because I'm an audiovisual company. I want to take money from investors or get into the production to the main characters, the main actors, and I need to provide some images or some proves that how it's going to be the production. So maybe Peter Jackson was, yes, weeks, I know, even months to the, but with this kind of technology, you can do it just in minutes, hours, a day, for example. And this is because not only you're generating production in seconds, but also it's prepared to be flexible, because the creative people want to, obviously they want to have it so fast, obviously, but they want it as their own way. They want to be the creative way of doing things is, okay, I have this first shot, but I don't know, I don't want that. I want to change it to another perspective, to another point, and I want to change this to another thing. And this is the kind of things that you need to take in account when you are getting products from the markets. That the kind of work, the kind of segment of people that you are looking for, it's so restrictive with this kind of things, so hard. And if you are not aligned with their expectations, you're going to be it's going to be difficult for you in the markets.
Now it's an MVP, but in few months it's going to be an application that is ready for everyone. What is the idea that you have to make money? So my question is, are you going to, because the problem, in this environment with so many companies, as we were talking before, there are a lot of companies doing similar things. I'm not telling that they are doing the same, similar things. And you need to prove who you are with a free demo. So then the question is, are you going to charge, your idea is to charge with an API, 2 different levels? What is the plan that you have?
It's going to be, we will have at least 3 months of beta testing. It's going to be free for everyone. And that's time enough. I know if we are going to be longer, maybe yes. But time enough, we want time enough to know if the functionalities that we put and we've validated with some clients and how the market is interacting with the solution is good. Is prepared for that. And after we take feedback from these markets and make the changes in our solution, we want to get it into a SaaS. Like it's not going to be an API. I'm explaining. To get the entire functionality that we want to provide to the clients, you cannot have just one line in a token and just creating the content. It's not possible, because you are providing a lot of functionalities, not just providing the frames at every time. You need to have like an interface and like a place of work, to be confident with that and to be prepared to do anything with that. It's like more, it's more like a Photoshop program, like a program that you download and you use it into your laptop or your personal computer. And you do everything inside of it. And we want to be prepared to do everything inside of it. You don't need to do anything outside. You need to go to other places just to be prepared for all these things. And it's going to be like a SaaS. It's going to be different fees depending on your footage generated on this platform per month. Obviously, every kind of client, every segment, we need different things. Some people, for example, influencers would need maybe the minimal, but for example, artificial companies that need more quality or more flexibility, or for example, wanted to clone faces or clone real environments, that we need more resources. This is going to be more expensive, right? But this is the kind of business model, and this is how we want to put it in the market. Yeah,
because at the end, competition is everywhere. We are a consultancy, AI and and cloud consultancy, and we have competition. Everyone has competition. It's like that.
Pablo, I have this observation, and I want you to confirm that you see the same of the area, because you travel more than I do on the events and conferences, and you see there what's on the market currently. From what I see and from what the products on the market, like the best solutions based on artificial intelligence are the ones that are based on some traditional thing that we did in the past, like with Photoshop or with tool that you described, like with 3D scenes, but with that have something added on top of that uses artificial intelligence to either improve what we did before or either make it easier. And from what I saw so far, there is no product that based on successful product that based on artificial intelligence from ground to top. There are tools that let you do something, but they are not products by itself.
Very good point, Leo. I think it's a very good point because what you're telling is true. Because everything that I've seen is what I'm telling to you, Alvaro. It's companies that are using Vision AI, but are using Vision AI with a library, which is the same, but okay. And most of them are using the same one because it's my question always, which one are you using? No, we are not using a library. But come on, you need to use something. I don't think, no, we create our own model. Come on, tell me. No, it's, you are in a startup, you didn't raise money, so it's you and three person working hard to something. It's impossible, man. So because it's 3 months, if you're telling that you're on that for 3 years, 4 years I can tell, okay, maybe it's like that, but for 3 years, and it's true that is I have something that they put AI, something with AI, but it's true that a few cases with AI product, so end to end, and this is what is super interesting in what you are doing, Alvaro. I think is something different, something unique, because at least what I see in the places, there is nothing like that. There is no AI product, no blah 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 and AI, because this is what you see always these days. And really, we had more than 30 meetings in the last 2 days, and all of the meetings were about AI. So everyone is talking about AI. It was something like something else, no AI, and always is blah 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 and AI. It's super interesting that and different.
And Alvaro, as someone who is from this area, like because we've encountered a lot of AI tools, we discuss it a lot on the podcast, but you are the person who actually creates something. And like from your perspective, give your perspective, do you think AI is more like enabler rather than a replacement? How do you feel about it currently, working with that? How do you know what it currently is and where it's heading?
Yeah, this is ethically the most the question that a lot of people make most. My position on everything at this topic is that yes, it's an enabler. Because obviously it depends. Because if you don't hear, you don't touch, you use at all AI or any of these new technologies that are racing, for sure you're not going to be adapted. This is like when I know cars engines were going out, and the people that was throwing to this I know how to say horses cars were getting down because they didn't know how to play a car. This is the same. Just the technology is evolving, and you need to adapt. Because if not, the technology. The main point here is that it's getting able to you possibilities that you didn't have before, or is getting costs lower, or yes, this kind of things is the main concept of the technology. So everything at the universe wants to be at the minimum energy and the minimum costs, and people, we are doing as well. So when we have a tool that's able to do the same work or similar quality, but at so lower cost, so lower time, it's obvious that the entire people is going to do that. And if you don't want to be adapted to that because you are afraid of the reality, and in fact, it's just fear about taking effort and learn about it, because there's no more. You are smart, you have a brain, you can use whatever thing that you puts in your mind. So if you take it an opportunity to learn and to use it, you're gonna be adapted. But it's this kind of people that has fear about, okay, this is new, and I started a lot yet, and I don't want to make more efforts to be adapted to the new times. This is my perspective. I think this is an enabler, absolutely. And if you use it, you're gonna be more creative, because the creativity is not only time that you waste, for example, in audiovisual production, recording or merging every shot. Is the time that you invest in how it's gonna be looking the shot, or in the script. Why I choose these two people doing this at this time? What's the meaning of this for the entire message of the production? What's the meaning for the public, for the audience? This is the creativity. The creativity is in that kind of moments, not on taking the shooting and making things emerging, and after that producing. This is something that AI can do and another technology can do. So yeah, this is the main thing.
I agree. And the way how when it enables creativity, and it's at the same time it saves time and costs for you, and you have a practical use for this tool for those who knows what they want to achieve, and they will be able to create something and visualize it in a more timely manner rather than creating something with their own hands. All right, final words. This was very fascinating. I will make sure to put the links in the description to a tool. But for those who wants to know more about you, about the project, where they can find you, where they can talk to you, Alvaro, give us your...
Absolutely. They have our social media. There is HechicerIA at every channel, Instagram, Facebook. If not, they have our website is HechicerIA.com, and at the bottom, the footer, they have our social media as well. They can mail us if they're interested on the topic and they want to work on this kind of field, because it's tough. I didn't mention, but it's so tough to find people with the right experience and with the interest to work on this, and overall here in Spain. So if they're interested, they're passionate about the topic, and they have a little experience, and overall they want to learn, this is the most important. They can email us in the contact parts of our website, mailing to contacto@HechicerIA.com. Or our social media as well. They have a lot of content that we are creating every week, but we are making productions about from our AI to just to show to the community what we are doing. Also making productions with audiovisual companies that are creating something for example, for festivals and for marketing companies. And they have a lot of content to review it and to enjoy.
Cool. Thank you, Alvaro. Thanks for coming and sharing. This was very exciting and very insightful. Finally, we had someone who hands-on working on the tools and creating something with AI. Pablo, thank you for your coming.
It was a pleasure, Alvaro, really. We enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, and for those who were listening to us, thank you. Give us likes, give us subscribes, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everyone.
The cloud tech industry is evolving so fast. Do you keep up with it by improving your skills or upskilling your team? At mkdev, we offer a variety of workshops for just that, from the basics to expert knowledge. Before delivering our workshops and training sessions, we carry out a detailed assessment of each participant. To make sure the workshop is helpful for you and your team, we will add more content to it or throw out what you already know. Or we create a custom workshop specifically for the needs of your team and the specifics of your project.